Hello, my most amazing artists. How are you today?
Ready to create.
Well, that's believable. Hi, everyone. We are taking this party outdoors because we could still go outside and create art. Today, our word of the week is repetition. Repetition is when an artist repeats an element of art over and over. They can repeat line, they can repeat shape, you can repeat color. That is repetition. Today we're going to talk about the artist Andy Goldsworthy. You know?
Yeah.
When I say Andy, you say Goldsworthy. Andy.
Goldsworthy.
Andy.
Goldsworthy.
Andy.
Goldsworthy.
Okay, let's get serious. It is cool. Andy Goldsworthy is a sculptor. Does anyone know what a sculptor is? Ooh, I love the raised hand.
Like, just say if you had like ice, then you can make it into like a kind of sculpture.
Yeah.
Like into like a dog or something, or if you had a tree, you can trim it into something.
Well, and
you have a talent.
Yes, because she's saying ice because we were looking at this book a little bit before. So Andy Goldsworthy he's actually an environmentalist, and he is I'll put this back in the book. He's an environmentalist and a land artist, and he creates these sculptures out in nature. So the really cool part about him is he knows that someone's going to disturb these. He will create them, and what is repeated in that picture? You see?
A circle?
Well, it's these yellow
Circle.
dandelions that are repeated. Those flowers are repeated in all of the purple.
Maybe.
Now, he does repetition in all of his artworks. I feel like that is the principle of design that he really uses a lot of.
This one looks like a black hole in space because black holes kind of look like that.
You're right, and that is actually called. What is it even called?
Roman leaves lay around a hold.
Yeah, is that the title though?
I mean, it doesn't have.
He created that in 1987. Here's another cool one. Now, here's the tricky part. Here's our challenge for today. Ooh. Our challenge is to create a Andy Goldsworthy inspired artwork out here in nature.
I want to do that.
Well, we're gonna do it.
Nature.
You can do it. So,
It's a beautiful day.
and it is a beautiful day to do this. So,
What is this?
that is actually a slate crack line. So he made that line look like it appears based on breaking things up and putting them. He didn't use any paint for these things. Now that's the tricky part.
hair
Nothing
got
is
stuck in
painted.
My hair got
How do you get the
caught.
yellow
can have that
flowers
back.
there? Some stuff.
He did not use paint for any of these things that he created. He always just uses whatever is in nature. So in order to find color, how many? Who's jumping on the bed? Monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." Okay, so here
is a
I'm just trying to
weird
look and
life
see if there's any other things that we can look at to be inspired that we can do. Oh, that's something you might be able to put together. Now, I know all
got
of
lights
you
back there.
are
I can see
really
that.
great at thinking outside the box. So, here's your challenge. Outdoor challenge inspired by Andy Goldsworthy. You are to create something outdoors using repetition. Thank you. For those of you who aren't sleeping.
But I did it.
I'm kidding.
I'm not sleeping. I'm just
Oh, this is cool. Are these sticks? Oh, you know what? No, these sticks are not on the water. They're lifted up from the water. They're poked into the water and they're builded up. So you can see this. He actually put
Wait,
these
does
sticks.
he use glue?
No glue. That's another challenge. You may not use glue. You have
Does
to.
he cut stuff?
He might not necessarily cut things with. Well, you know what? That's a good question. Has he cut anything with like a scissor? Here's a really cool thing that you can do with a circle in the middle. and then having something. But what we're doing right now is we're just kind of being inspired by what
How does he do that?
we're being inspired by what he created to...
That's literally just.
Well, you can just hold that till we're done, because we're almost done. All right, so we're off to go. That one's cool. We are out in the woods. Okay, well, we're not in the woods. We're just outside. Go outside.
To make a.
To make a what? Oh, you're going to make some land art using repetition. All right, so we're gonna turn this thing around and we're gonna get started, and I'm gonna show you what they're working on. I'm gonna show you what I come up with, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. Over here checking in on Chase and seeing what he's up to. He is digging some kind of hole over here, and he's working on some kind of a cross thing going on, and he is hard at work figuring out what kind of land art he is going to create. Let's go over and check in with Ella. I lost Ella. Where'd Ella go? Ella, where are you? Come out, wherever you are. Marco! Andy! Do you remember his last name? Goldsworthy. Here we are, over at Ella's
I'm
creating station.
Stuff.
You're getting all your stuff. You have some rocks. You have some sticks. I like how the sticks are all
And I put
in a pile. Looks like you're repeating sticks using repetition. Got your rocks ready. I can't wait to see what you create. We're gonna check back in. Ella's over here grabbing her supplies. She's shopping, if you will. Now, whatever we take when we're done, we'll probably have to put back. I really felt inspired by these sticks in the water. So I'm gonna try to go for something, creating my sculpture to go up and digging these sticks into this little pond that I found. Don't let yourself get discouraged as you're creating. This is about having fun and exploring and seeing what you can come up with. Before I had this going, which you can see right now, I'm using repetition by repeating my sticks around the inside here. And now I'm going with, actually, I'm using this orangey kind of color leaf and this green. And I just reminded myself that orange and green combined with violet would be a secondary color scheme. So that has me curious if there's anything violet around that I can add to this. If not, I really like the color scheme that I chose for this. And I'm gonna continue to keep breaking off sticks. Chase had asked if Andy Goldsworthy used anything for cutting. And I think rather than pulling out the grass, a better idea would be to cut it. So if you need to do a little cutting, get your parents' permission, and then you might be able to cut a couple supplies to use. I was able to get some grass, and I like the longer strands of the grass that I was able to get. So if your family didn't do the first cut of grass for the season, you might be able to find some of these really long shreds of grass. And I'm actually building them around.
It kind of looks like a launch pad, like a helicopter.
And what you can see is I use the principle of art known as repetition to repeat all of my sticks. I have used some color. You don't have to use color in yours, but if you choose to, I've used some color by adding some green grass. I have another layer of leaves going through. And then on the outside, I have another layer of this grass. I found this dry hay stuff that I'm excited to use. So if you would like to use a pair of scissors to help cut some of these things, of course, make sure you have your parents' permission before you start cutting anything out in your yard. With the end result. I think the interesting thing about land art is you never know who's going to stumble upon it and see it after you left. So I guess this is in our backyard, so no one's going to find it except for us. But I think it's really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. We're going to actually check and see what Chase and Ella have come up with as well, and I can't wait to see what you guys have come up with. We are headed over to see what Ella is working on. It looks exciting. She's making a couple trims. Ella, I love it. I'm so proud. This looks great. You didn't even see what I was doing and you decided to do a circle too. I love it. Nice work.
Instead, I did a little tree.
Oh, I love. This is so great. How did you use repetition?
I used some rocks, and I used some of this hay stuff, and I used this kind of hay too, and I used sticks, and I used some of this, and I used grass, and I used some scissors to trim.
Great job. We are headed over to see what Chase has made. He is actually missing in action, but it looks like he finished his sculpture. He has a couple of sticks that he's repeated, and he has the grass around the outside that he was inspired after looking at my idea, so he decided to do that to his.
Also, these were, we hope you make something very good and inspired by
Andy
Andy and
Goldsworthy.
Goldsworthy, and be creative
And be creative, yeah. Thanks, all.
and have fun.
And have fun. Be creative and have fun.